Gemini, thank you for joining me. This is your astrology forecast for March 2016. It's a real pleasure to be with you today. I am going to give you a rundown of what's coming up. There are two eclipses going on in this month, so it's a big month. Eclipses are always somewhat disruptive. There's a lot of astrological weather going on here. So let's see what this month looks like for you specifically. Dear Gemini, so let's get started. We've got Saturn in your 7th house of relationships, and that starts to form a square relationship with the Sun, and they connect and they have this relationship until the 12th of March. Now, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be scrutinizing very clearly the people in your life and whether they're supportive and helpful to you when you're trying to achieve your goals. So you're going to be filtering out the bad and focusing on the good. You can really trust your judgment when it comes to other people. You know, sometimes we have to make tough decisions about people in life, relationships, friendships. Sometimes it's right and it's good to end relationships if you value yourself, if someone is treating you unkindly or unfairly. But often doubt comes along with that. Did I make the right decision? Should I have said this? Should I have ended this relationship? From the 1st until the 12th, Saturn puts things under the microscope, and it means that you look at things clearly and effectively and well. So you can trust yourself, and it's safe to make changes to relationships that you want to change. A T-square forms on the 2nd of March, and that stays in place until the 18th. So again, a long-term energy. It connects your Jupiter and your Sun now, and it then finishes up with Saturn and the Moon in the 7th house. Okay, so this is very interesting because it gives you a sense of structure when it comes to other people. It gives you a sense of what you want to achieve and what you want to do for other people, and it allows you to do that in a consistent and practical way. So Gemini, you're going to be, I mean, I know that doesn't sound like anything, but you're going to be someone who can go into a situation and sort it out for others. You're a problem solver between the 2nd and 18th, especially when it comes to personal relationships. By working on them, you can really make the situation better. You're going to be in the position of the diplomat when it comes to family during these 3 weeks. You're going to be able to solve problems for others. So go into situations where there is conflict and where people need help. So if you work as a counselor, these 3 weeks are going to be amazing for you because you're actually going to find the right words, and you're going to be able to say things that really make a genuine difference in people's lives. And you will also have an innate understanding of relationships and what they're about. On a more personal, kind of constructive level, this is also a really good time to choose a partner, to choose a relationship, to make a commitment, to make it more solid. Because you can trust your judgment, and it's not just doubt that comes along with ending relationships, but doubt also comes along with solidifying a relationship and making a genuine commitment. So by trusting yourself during this time, you can really make something more solid in your life. So if you do want to ask your boyfriend to move in with you, or if you want to kind of get engaged and you're not sure, listen to your feelings around the beginning of March. You'll get an accurate, clear idea of what you should be doing. On the 3rd of March, you'll notice that you have a vision of what your future looks like when it comes to other people. And it will be a very clear vision. You'll get an image, clairvoyantly, even if you're not clairvoyant, of what your future could look like with this person. And that's something you can trust. That's a sign, it's an omen, it's a gift from your guides, your angels, which are confirming a message to you. So that's very important to listen out for. On the 5th of March, Mercury goes into Pisces, and it joins Chiron, the Sun, your midheaven, and Neptune, which are all sitting in Pisces in your 10th house. be careful that at work you don't become too much of a pushover and you do everything for everyone all the time and you stay there until 11 at night. There's a tendency for you to be overly giving, overly compromising, and not to stand up for yourself. So use that Saturn ability to scrutinize and say, hey, hang on a minute, I'm being really helpful here, but they're taking advantage now. And have that realization, look at it that way, and make sure that people don't step on you or kind of pile work on you that really is theirs to do. So this is very good for you in terms of your work and your career, because you're going to be able to put things in place which make your day-to-day work, your business fairer on you. And it's a good time to kind of sort out your schedule, because you're not going to just be focused on helping others endlessly. You're also going to look after yourself. You know, for instance, if you're a doctor, you work long hours, okay? But at some point, you're going to have to say, I can't keep doing 16, 18-hour days because I'm making myself ill. And if I'm making myself ill, then I can't help anybody, okay? So at some point, you have to kind of draw a line and say, fine, my heart's in the right place, but enough is enough. I've got to put some boundaries in place here. On the 6th of March, Mars goes into Sagittarius in your 7th house. It was in Scorpio before, and Mars in Sagittarius is much, much happier. It rules a fire sign. It is now in a fire sign, and it feels like it's able to achieve. This is in your 7th house of relationships in general, but with Mars there's a real drive for passionate, intimate relationships. So from the 6th of March onward, a big priority for you is going to be romantic relationships and driving those forward and finding love, or really pursuing love, or the idea and the notion of love. If you're in a relationship where you're not getting what you need, you may become dissatisfied and say, well, hang on a minute, I'm actually not getting what I'm after here. And if you're single, you will really be inspired and feel very driven to move things forward and to find a compatible match. On the 7th, Jupiter sextiles the rising sign. Listen out, speak to family members on this day, because you'll get a really good insight and inspiration of how to make money by helping others. You'll get someone will say something to you that will really serve as the inspiration for a new business idea, but not just a business idea that profits you. You know, so I don't know, creating a product that then pollutes the environment and ruins everything. Nothing like that. Something that's actually genuinely helpful and that will help and support people. Listen out for that. Again, very random, very out of the blue, but that's what happens on the 7th, and it comes via family. The new moon occurs in Pisces on the 9th of March. And there's also a total solar eclipse that happens on the south node of the moon at the same time on the 9th of March. So the new moon is about pulling new energy in. The solar eclipse then interrupts that, and think of it like a cup of coffee. You put it in the coffee machine, it pulls the coffee in, but then the solar eclipse takes the bottom out of the cup, and the coffee just keeps flowing through and it's just lost. And basically what this is, it's about detoxing this sense of everything happens for a reason. If I have to work 18-hour days, then there's nothing I can do about it. I will continue to do that. That you let go of that sense of fatalism, and the thought that replaces that now around this new moon is, what can I do for myself? How can I put structure and boundaries in place so that I go where I want to go? So this new moon is a real turning point for you in terms of changing your perspective, your point of view around, so that you become more focused on self. Not selfish, but self in a positive way. The moon then moves on. The moon moves quite quickly. So it moves into Aries, and it's at 10 degrees at 12 o'clock at noon on the 10th of March, and that's noon London time. 10 degrees reduces to the number 1 in numerology. It's about new beginnings. And this moon is also in Aries, the sign of new beginnings, the first sign of the zodiac. According to the astrology, it's the beginning of the new year. And this puts you in a position of taking the bull by the horns and saying, how do I want my relationships to be? And really, so far, that's what I get the key kind of energy for you, Gemini, that you're going to stop listening to what is and what you have to accept, and you really start to focus on what you want to exist in future and what isn't quite there yet. You're going to focus on creating that. This is a really good time for you to create new relationships because you're really acting from a loving place and you're being honest and truthful with yourself about what it is you want. That's heightened on the next day because the moon then moves on to 25 degrees and it conjuncts Uranus, which is also in Aries in that 11th house. So I have a vision of what my hopes and dreams are. I have a vision of what my hopes and dreams can be when it comes to love and relationship, and I see how I can put that into practice. So best day so far in terms of romance and love, especially when it comes to ideas of how you can make that happen. So if your relationship is positive and happy and you want to take it to the next level, you'll get an idea to maybe go for a dinner or to create something beautiful between the two of you, a present, an activity that will take things to the next level. Or you will get insights and inspiration of what you can do practically to bring love into your life. Venus goes into Pisces on the 12th, and you've got so much going on now in your 10th house. You've got your Sun, Chiron, the midheaven, Mercury, Neptune, and Venus, all in Pisces in your 12th. On the plus side, you are thinking very much along, how can I be of service? How can I do something that's helpful? On the downside, you may feel completely abstract and like you're not even getting anything done. Like you're focusing solely on relationships and you're not doing any work. This is a conflicting time for you now. Because Venus, the goddess of love and beauty, is very much kind of undoing the good work of that solar eclipse, and you're focusing again on your feelings and relationships pretty much exclusively, and it's very little to do with taking real practical action. So Gemini, you might struggle a little bit when it comes to work on the 12th. What you will do very well with is relationships, and I think that if you have to focus on one thing or the other, I would try and arrange work so that it doesn't take up the bulk of your time, and that it's not your main priority on this day, but that you do have time and space to focus on your relationship, because the work you do with that is really helpful. And at work, I think you might struggle to be practical. On the 13th, the moon starts to trine Jupiter and the North Node. And again, this is a wonderful day for romance, for love. You're feeling very sensual on this day. You're very connected with your body. Your heart is open. It's romantic, but it's also spiritual. So you connect with the concept of love, divine love. I live in Glastonbury in England, which is a very kind of new age place. It's like Sedona in the States, from what I hear anyway. I haven't been to Sedona, but people throw around the word love all the time, and it's almost used as a one size fits all, and often I think it's really kind of it's used almost like as a marketing tool, and I don't think it's appropriate in terms of what love is really about, which is literally what the universe is made of. It's we do live in a positive, loving universe that wants you to thrive, and it's not so much about love as this concept or as like a heart on a wallet or something. It's about genuinely being able to tap into that, and you tap into that feeling, what love should be, what it's really about. And on the 13th, either meditate on that and manifest true love into your life, or if you already have it in your life, then explore it, spend time with it in a practical, physical sense, and experience love rather than just read about it or listen to someone else talk about it, but you have the opportunity to actually step into love and experience it for yourself. On the 15th, there's a grand cross in the sky, and these are always very, they push and pull you all over the place. What you're going to feel is a desire to communicate very strongly, a desire to help others. You will feel at the same time this scrutiny and restriction of who actually gets my help and who deserves my help. And then family life will also be a strong feature, and you're not going to know which way you're supposed to go, whether you're coming or going. I would suggest you focus on a very quiet day with family and just have a nice positive time, communicate with other people, and don't try and fix all of your working situations and do everything for everyone and be taken advantage of. That's a big thing, because that will get you frustrated and that will just make the day very, very busy. I would plan a nice day of downtime, and the 15th of March is it's a Tuesday, so it's the middle of the week, okay? So you're going to have to manage a little bit on this day. On the 17th, there's a triangle of friction, and this is, again, very interesting. You will get an idea. Business keeps coming up. It kind of is like this undercurrent that just raises its head once in a while here in March. And on this day, you will feel a certain way about an idea that you've got in your work, and I think you'll get it through your work, how you can make things better, how you can do something that would genuinely help people, and how you can go ahead and move that forward in a practical sense. So this is a wonderful day for inventions, inspiration, that will assist your career, and that will then in turn assist your relationships. On the 18th, the moon goes into Leo, and that's in your 3rd house. And that heightens that sense of passion about something that you've discovered on the previous day, and this is a good day to communicate about it. So you might feel like you've had a new idea and you're inspired and you want to run it by another person. Do that. It will really help crystallize it, and by communicating it, you will feel even more excited about it. So the muses are very kind of active in your life here between the 17th to 19th, and they're inspiring you, and the way to go along with that process is to communicate and to do research and to find out more so that it can become a real thing. On the 19th, I've mentioned there is that grand trine, and that's a heightening of those passionate feelings. On the 20th, the moon starts to quincunx your Sun and your Mercury. So this is now the time to put those things into action. So again, for you, Gemini, this is strange, but for these couple of days during the month, you're an inventor. You become an inventor. So even if you're someone who works at the post office, or who is a homemaker, or who is someone who is prescribed exactly what they need to do every day, you're going to get some sort of inspiration, and you can put that into practice. So if you've been thinking of starting your own business on the side, or patenting a product, or doing something really unique, these couple of days here in March are the days to watch out for, because that's when it comes in. On the 22nd, Mercury goes into Aries, and that's in your 11th house, and you start to communicate your hopes and dreams, and you start to believe in your own hopes and dreams again, that they're possible, that you can achieve them. And this is the next step from the last few days where you've had the idea and now seen how you can put it into practice, and now you're actually doing it. You're communicating with people, maybe the patent office, suppliers, looking at places that you can rent out. It's all systems go. It's about what can I do, and it's almost like this has been given to you. Even if you didn't have the idea to make changes or to start your own business, it may be that it's just presented to you and you have to. Like if I have such an amazing idea that would be a waste not to go through with it, then it's my responsibility to do that, regardless of whether I asked for it or not. On the 23rd of March, the full moon occurs, and again, there's a lunar eclipse now, and this lunar eclipse is on the North Node. So a regular full moon is about a coming to fruition of energy. And it showers you with Libra energy. But because there's a lunar eclipse, it's interrupted. And it's on the north node, so it's about pulling energy in. Okay, so what you'll notice is that this is a full moon that's more powerful than a regular full moon. The Libra energy is being pulled in, then the eclipse interrupts that process and kind of, once it's over, it really pulls it in. And that fills you with ideas of other people, and it fills you with compromise, and it takes you completely away from this idea of what do I want to do. So it's very disruptive in terms of these new things that you want to put into place, and you're now taken into a completely different direction, and you forget about what you're doing and you think about other people all the time. So be prepared for that. It totally throws you off. It totally changes your perspective. The next day things go back to normal, taking action of doing something that can actually help other people. But just brace yourself for the 23rd feeling very uncomfortable and just changing your perspective around totally. The moon is in Scorpio on the 26th, and that trines Neptune in your 10th. You'll know that you're on the right track on this day. So this idea that you've had during the month, you'll be working on that in some way. Listen to your feelings. If it feels right on this day, you can trust it. If it doesn't feel right, get rid of it. This is the day where you'll get the emotional answer. Sometimes something seems like a wonderful idea on a Tuesday, and then by the time you get to Friday, it's like, what the hell was I thinking? That especially applies when you're writing, to me anyway. I write these words and I think they're amazing, and then I reread them a week later and I'm feeling something different, and it's just like, what's this, you know? So this is a good day of quality control via your own feelings. There's also a grand trine here in fire, so it's quality control about this idea that you've got to make money, to have as a business. If it passes the test, then it literally is all systems go, and you're sitting on a gold mine of a new business that it's your responsibility to create. So this is almost like something is given to you this month that you didn't have a choice with. On the 31st of March, at the end of the month, you end the month with Pluto and the Moon in Capricorn joining in the 8th house. And I really get that things now shift for you. I think you would have passed the test in terms of, is this a potential career? I think you're filled with fire, enthusiasm about realizing your own hopes and dreams. And I think you start April by putting things in place to go your own way. So I really feel that something comes into your life here that then alters the course that you're going on, and it may even change your career. So prepare yourself for possibly having a completely different goal at the end of March than you did at the beginning of March. You don't have to do anything for it, like you heard here in this forecast. It just comes in, despite yourself. So that's what I get for you in March. I hope that's given you some ideas of what you'll be working with. If you'd like a private reading with me about your career path, your life purpose, then please get in touch. All you need to do is visit the website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab. You'll be able to order your reading there. Remember to subscribe to the channel, and I will be with you next month for the forecast for April. But I'm also on the YouTube channel daily for the daily tarot reading, so have a look at those. They give an interpretation of the day-to-day energy that you'll be working with. I hope you have a wonderful March, and I'll speak to you soon.